Tampa, or were you living somewhere else?
Somewhere else.
Okay, where was that?
Palm Beach Gardens.
Okay. Is there were you living in like a single family residence or part of like a bigger community?
A single family home within a community.
And what was the name of that community?
Mirabella.
Okay. And on that day, on Tuesday, November 16th, did anything out of the ordinary happen for you in terms of that morning?
Early that morning, I went for a run, and as I approached the sidewalk outside of the community, I spotted a man who was out of context within that area.
Okay. And in terms of the Mirabella neighborhood and the surrounding area, if you were to see kind of a Google map of it, do you think you'd be able to recognize and pick it out?
Yes.
Okay. I believe by agreement of the parties, Judge, the state seeks to admit State Exhibit 31A through C.
31A through C admitted without objection.
Permission to publish, Judge?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So we're going to take a look at A, and let me know.
Sir, if you need to step down in order to see better, you can do that as well, okay?
I'm okay. Thank you.
You can see that all right, Mr.
Yes.
Kaufman? All right. What are we looking at in A?
A being the entirety of the map.
Yeah.
We are looking at a bird's eye view of Mirabella.
Okay. And if you, on this map, is it left, right, up, down? Where is your neighborhood on the map?
May I get closer?
Yes, of
Thank
course. I just asked Mr. Kaufman that you speak into the mic so we can capture what you're saying. Mr. Clausey, you'll need one too.
Okay. Good road. Let me just get my bearings.
Looking at this one, are you not sure?
I'm looking for Mirabella specifically.
Got it. Let's take a look at Exhibit B. Does this look familiar to you?
Yes, sir. That would be. Yes.
And what are we looking at in this one?
This is Mirabella community.
Okay. And I'm not going to ask you to point out where your house was, but you said you went for an early morning jog.
Yes.
Where did you leave your community? North, south, east, west? Where did you start going?
This is the entrance / exit, and I'm heading south on Mirabella Way towards Jog Road.
Okay. And then when you get to the exit of your community, did you decide to go west or did you decide to go east?
West.
Okay. And stay right there for one last second. Do you recognize what's in Exhibit C?
Yes.
What are we looking at here?
This is the entrance into Mirabella.
Okay. And can you just kind of point on this, where you came out and then where you started going?
Came out from this direction, Mirabella, and headed west, Jog Road.
Okay. Now, I think you said that you saw a black male. Do you know where approximately you would have seen him when you were coming out of your neighborhood?
As I turned onto Jog Road, I saw this male approximately 20 to 30 feet away.
Okay. Do you recall, as you stand here today, what type of clothing he was wearing?
Very dark clothing, disheveled looking, perhaps a jacket with a hood.
Okay. And then did he have anything with him other than his clothing?
I remember him having a backpack as well.
Okay. Did you speak to this individual at all?
No.
Approximately how long did you get a look at him for?
It was just a few seconds.
Okay. Did you try to get a second look at him after your paths had crossed?
Yes.
Okay. And what happened when you tried to, I guess, look back to see him again?
Yeah. After I ran past him and he was walking the opposite direction, I then turned around and didn't see him anymore.
Okay. And so from your testimony, you were heading west and he was heading east.
Yes.
Okay. You can return to your seat. Thank you. Just one moment, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Now, sir, okay, so you see that. Did you run and tell law enforcement that day about what you had seen?
Not that day.
Okay. But eventually, after the incident that we're here for all today, did you notify law enforcement of the limited information that you had?
Yes.
Okay. No further questions, Judge.
Cross?
Good afternoon.
Hello.
So you said on the early morning of Tuesday, November 16th, you went out for your normal morning run.
Yes.
And as you, I will put up states 31B. And so you came out of your neighborhood in Mirabella, down Mirabella Way, and then made a right onto Jog Road.
Yes.
Okay. About 5 o'clock in the morning,
Yes.
give or take a few minutes.
Yes.
And you noticed a man who you stated was out of context for the area, correct?
Yes.
Out of place in the area.
Yes.
Had never seen him before.
Correct.
It was a black man
Yes.
wearing dark clothing.
Yes.
Not sure the exact color of his clothing, right?
Dark clothing.
Okay. But in terms of black, dark gray, navy, not sure the exact color, correct?
Correct.
Only saw him for a few seconds.
Right.
You described him as disheveled, right? And he had like some facial hair, right?
Mild facial hair. Yeah.
And the two of you actually crossed paths on the sidewalk of Jog Road, right?
Yes.
You were going west, he was coming east.
Correct.
And he didn't say anything to you, right?
Correct.
He wasn't aggressive in any way, right?
No.
Didn't really even acknowledge you, right?
Correct.
And this individual, this man that you saw, you didn't notice any blood on him, correct?
No.
I have nothing further.
Redirect? No, Your Honor. Is the witness free to go? From the state, yes. Defense?
Yes.
Sir, you're free to leave. Thank you. Next witness?
Yes, Judge. The state will call Detective Jonathan Grossman. I do.
Once you're comfortably seated, pull the mic close to you. Say your first and last name. Spell both names, please.
Jonathan Grossman, Jonathan. S-M-A-N.
Do you wish to inquire, Mr. Clausen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
All right, so you said your name to the jury. Can you please say what your occupation is at this current time?
Sure. I'm a deputy sheriff with the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office. I'm assigned to the Homicide Bureau's cold case unit.
Okay. I want to go through a little bit of your background and experience. What was your first starting point in law enforcement in terms of a career?
In 2004, I joined the Miami-Dade Schools Police Department, which is a school-only based police department in Miami-Dade County. From 2004 to 2011, I worked there. I handled a variety of assignments from patrol to school resource officer, general investigations, and ultimately to the rank of sergeant. I then lateraled to the Miami-Dade Police Department then. We're now the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office now.
Okay. And do you remember when you transitioned over to the Miami-Dade Police Department?
That would be in January of 2011.
Okay. What did they have you doing when you first started with that kind of lateral agency?
When I transferred to the Miami-Dade Police Department, the Sheriff's Office now, I was assigned to the South District of Miami-Dade County for 2 years. And in January of 2013, I transferred to the Homicide Bureau.
Okay. And is that currently where you are now?
Yes, it is.
Okay. What are your duties and responsibilities in that unit?
So my duties now is being assigned to the cold case unit. So we handle all the open, unsolved homicides. We review those. We also have a variety of other responsibilities, which include assisting outside agencies, which is what was done in this case.
And in terms of assisting outside agencies, even though you're in the cold case unit, is that kind of just an additional responsibility that you guys handle?
It is. It's so a lot of times we'll get some requests from outside agencies to assist with their cases that have some nexus to Miami-Dade County. So we'll take those.
So on November 26th of 2021, did you get a request for one of those assists in Miami?
We did.
Okay. And who contacted you saying that they needed assistance with an outside of your kind of jurisdiction investigation?
Our command staff directed myself and my partner and my sergeant to assist Palm Beach Gardens Police Department.
Okay. And did you make contact specifically with anyone in the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department?
I did. Detective Jennifer Brashear.
Okay. And in terms of what she needed assistance with, did she inform you of her investigation?
She did.
Okay. And were you basically asked to assist that agency in locating a man by the name of Semmie Williams?
We were.
Okay. What was the initial purpose to try to locate Mr. Williams to begin with?
Initially, the request was that we obtain a search warrant for his DNA to obtain an oral swab for DNA purposes for testing.
Okay.
And part of that was also to locate him and attempt to bring him in for an interview.
Okay. And once you started assisting Palm Beach Gardens Police Department, were you able to get a DNA search warrant for Mr. Williams?
We did.
Okay. And so in order to effectuate that warrant, you have to find Mr. Williams. How did you go about doing that on the 26th?
When we learned that there were several YouTube videos that were being posted assigned to his account.
Okay.
And as part of that, we started to research them, look at them, and see if we could identify parts of Miami where he was posting those videos at.
Okay. And do you remember what his tag name was or the YouTube name was?
Semmie17.
Okay. And so is this in the morning hours or the afternoon hours that you're going to try to go out into Miami and search for him?
I believe we started looking for him roughly around 1 p.m., give or take.
Okay. And where was the first area, I guess, you went to in Miami to try to see if he was there?
We responded to an area called Overtown. It's basically runs near the I-95 corridor there in Miami. And we started at a park it's called Gibson Park.
Okay. And was Mr. Williams there at the time?
He was not.
Okay. Later on in the day, were you able to watch another YouTube video that gave an indication of where he may be?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember around what time you would have seen that video?
I think that video was shortly after 4 p.m., give or take.
Okay. And once you saw that video, did you personally kind of recognize the details in the background?
We did.
Okay. And did you collaborate with maybe other officers to try to figure out where that video is coming from?
I did.
Okay. And after you did that, where did you go?
We responded back to Gibson Park,
Okay.
and we were ultimately able to locate Mr. Williams.
Okay. How many people are with you at that time, if any, when you get back to Gibson Park after 4 p.m.?
When we got back to Gibson Park, there was 2 City of Miami police officers that accompanied us to the park. And I believe it was my partner, Detective Denmark. I don't remember if my sergeant was there with us at Gibson Park at that time.
Okay. Just tell us a little about what is Gibson Park. Is it just a dog park? Does it have other things?
Yeah, Gibson Park at the time had a building. There was several park benches that were adjacent to the building with some exterior outlets. So I was kind of familiar with people going there, plugging in their phones, getting charged, and I believe there's a pool and a splash pad there now. I don't remember if there was one there in 21, but it's right, just like an open area park.
Okay. And where exactly did you see Mr. Williams?
Mr. Williams was sitting at one of those benches that were adjacent to the building, and he was just sitting there on the park bench.
Okay. Do you see Mr. Williams in the? Do you see him in the courtroom here today?
I do.
Okay. If you could just point to him, and if you could say an article of clothing that he's wearing.
Sure. He's sitting at defense table with a white shirt and black jacket.
May the record reflect, Judge, that he has identified the defendant.
Does counsel stipulate? Yes. So done.
Thank you. Where was the defendant when you saw him in the park? What was he doing?
He was sitting on the park bench. It appeared like that he was doing something with a cellular phone.
Okay. Other than his cell phone, did he have anything else either near him or on him?
He had a backpack just sitting on the floor right next to him.
Okay. Was anybody with him at the time?
Not that I recall.
Okay. So when you see Mr. Williams, at that point, do you have the DNA search warrant already, or is it being approved?
No, at that point, when we approached him, the DNA warrant was already signed.
Okay. So did you approach the defendant?
I did.
Okay. What did you say to him when you got there?
We introduced ourselves. We told him we'd like to speak with him, if he would like to come back to our office to talk with us, and he agreed.
Okay. Did he make any kind of preconditions or any requirements before he would be willing to go back and speak with you about your investigation?
He wanted to collect his belongings. He wanted to make sure he had everything that he came there with him when he went with us.
Okay. So how did y'all get back to the police station?
We escorted him to our unmarked police vehicle. He was positioned in the front passenger seat, and I was sitting right behind him. My partner, Detective Denmark, was driving.
Okay. Was he in handcuffs in any fashion at that point?
He was not.
Okay. During the transport to the police station, did he ask you any questions?
He started to ask why we wanted to speak to him.
Okay. And what did you do at that point?
We went ahead and took that opportunity to go ahead and go over his Miranda warnings, just in the event that something was said.
Okay. And after you read him his Miranda warnings, did he indicate to you that he understood what his rights were?
Yes.
Okay. So how long does it take you approximately to get back to the station?
I want to say it was about 30 minutes.
Okay. And where do you go once you get into the station to try to conduct an interview with him?
He was taken to our robbery unit, our robbery bureau, and we utilized one of their interview rooms.
Okay. Now, during your interaction with the defendant, did you ask him if he killed Ryan Rogers?
We did.
Okay. What was his response?
He said no.
Okay. Did you ask him if he could identify Ryan Rogers?
We did.
Okay. What was his response?
He said he didn't recognize him.
Okay. And during that conversation, did you ask him if he regularly carries any type of weapons on him?
We did.
Okay. And what was his response to that?
He said he typically would carry a pocket knife.
Okay. And did you ask him if he had the pocket knife while he was talking with you?
We did.
Okay. And what was his response?
He said no, that he had lost it.
Okay. So after you have your interview with him, do you actually, I'm calling it, execute the DNA search warrant?
We did.
Okay. Just tell the jury a little bit about how a law enforcement officer obtains DNA through a search warrant.
So once a search warrant's obtained for someone's DNA, we would place gloves on our hands. We bring to them and open a piece of paper that, or sort of like a little envelope that has 2 swabs on there. It's wooden sticks with a cotton tip. We'll ask them to swab the inside of their cheeks, or we'll do it for them. And then we place them back into that paper wrap, or we'll place it in a box container. We'll wrap it, seal it, document it, and then we'll take that to the lab is how we usually do it.
Okay. And in terms of your kind of assist in this investigation, were you able to obtain DNA samples from the defendant?
We did.
Okay. And do you think you'd be able to recognize, how you preserved them if you saw it again?
Yes.
Okay. Judge, may we approach quickly?
Me or Mr. or Detective?
To you first.
Yes, you can
Thank you.
approach.
So, Judge, I'm going to approach the witness, what's already been marked as State's Exhibit 20, admitted into evidence. May I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Getting ready, you're ready. Thank you, sir. You can just open that up and let the jury know if you recognize what's inside.
Show the cut from the bottom.
You can, thank you. Thank you.
Do you recognize that, sir?
I do.
And can you tell the jury what that is that you're looking at?
This is a DNA collection box, similar to what I had instructed or told you guys earlier. Inside, there's 2 cardboard flaps that come up. There's holes on each where you can slide the wooden stick, DNA swab through to maintain it within inside the box. We would then seal the box on all 3 areas and then turn that over to the lab. In this case, we turned it over to Palm Beach Gardens.
Okay. Judge, permission to retrieve State's 20?
Yes.
Thank you.
Do I need the gloves for anything else?
We'll get it later.
Now, Detective, we talked about a DNA search warrant. On that day, were you able to obtain search warrants for other things related to the defendant?
We did.
What were those search warrants?
We obtained a search warrant for his cellular telephone.
Okay.
And we also obtained a search warrant for the backpack.
Okay. And so in relation to his cell phone, did you take custody of his cell phone that day?
I did.
Okay. And what happened with that cell phone? Did you transfer it to somebody else in your agency?
Yeah, so what we did was we went ahead and called out our digital forensics unit examiner that was on call, Detective Joel Tavio. He responded to headquarters, which is where our interview was taking place, and we provided the cell phone to him in order for him to conduct a forensic examination.
Okay. And you had mentioned a search warrant for the defendant's personal belongings. Did you take custody of his personal belongings as well that day?
I did.
Okay. And were those personal belongings eventually also transferred over to Palm Beach Gardens Police Department?
Those items that night were turned over to Detective Jennifer Brashear.
Okay. Now, on that date, did you or anybody arrest the defendant for this crime?
We did not.
Okay. Were you present when he was arrested?
I was.
And do you remember what date that was?
That would have been December 1st, 2021.
Okay. Just a moment, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. State has no further questions, Judge. Thank you.
Ross?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So I believe you testified that you've been a law enforcement officer since 2004.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and part of becoming a police officer, you have to go through the academy,
Yes, ma'am.
take various courses, right?
Yeah, there's a training curriculum for law enforcement. in
Okay, and
Florida.
one of those trainings that you go through in the academy is interview and interrogation, where you're trained how to interview witnesses or suspects.
So there's interview and interrogation courses that are offered post graduating from the academy, becoming a law enforcement officer. I don't remember the exact curriculum when I was in the academy. I'm sure that there was a brief part of interviews and interrogations. I don't think it was as elaborate as what the
Okay.
trainings are.
Well, let me ask it this way: you've taken that course, right?
I've
Interviews-
taken various courses.
right.
related
Since
to
you're a
that.
detective, I would. Oh, sorry.
Yes, I've taken various courses in interviews and interrogations.
Okay. And you would agree that all interviews are not one size fits all.
Interviews vary in nature,
Exactly.
length, and all circumstances of where they're taking place, etc. If
Mhm.
that's what
So
you
they're
mean.
kind of fluid, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You would agree. And sometimes it may start off one way and then end a different way, right?
Yes.
And in this case, I believe you testified that your role was kind of collaborating with the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department.
Yeah, I would say for my involvement with this case, I definitely was more of the interactive detective with Palm Beach Gardens.
Okay.
Certainly.
So information was provided to you of that they were looking for an individual by the name of Semmie Williams Jr.
Correct.
And that individual that you learned was homeless.
Correct.
Okay. And you also learned, and I think you gave the username for a YouTube channel that he had.
Yes.
And one of the things that you did in your attempt to try to help locate Mr. Williams was kind of looked at the videos that were being kind of actively uploaded to his YouTube.
That's correct.
And you started off at Gibson Park, which is in Overtown, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's ultimately where you ended up, and that's where he was.
Yes, ma'am.
Sitting on a park bench,
Yes.
kind of looking through his phone, maybe uploading a video at that point.
Very possible.
And when you, and I believe the detective that was with you, Detective Denmark, is that his name?
It is.
Okay, approached him, he didn't get up.
No,
Okay, he sat there,
he did.
acknowledged you,
He did.
and actually agreed to come along with you to the police station.
He did.
At that time, you didn't tell him what the reason was for, right?
Not at that point. No.
Okay. And the only thing he asked was that he could collect the belongings that he had,
That's correct.
which included a backpack,
Yes.
and then his cell phone that's in his hand.
Yes.
And as he's kind of walking over with you and Detective Denmark to your vehicle, or Denmark's vehicle, I don't know whose vehicle it was, he's frisked, right?
There's a brief pat down before we put him in our car.
Right, because before putting anyone that is not a law enforcement officer in your vehicle, you want to make sure they don't have any weapons or anything on it.
That's correct.
Okay, and as you drive over, I think you said it was about a 30-minute drive.
Yeah, I want to say it took us about 30 minutes, maybe a little less. By the time we got him inside the building and walk him into robbery, I think it started at 5:01.
Okay, and he's placed in an interview room.
He is?
And that interview room, he doesn't bring his belongings. He actually has to leave his backpack outside.
That's correct.
Okay, and then and his cell phone too, right?
Correct.
Okay, so he sits in the room, but there is food provided to him.
There was.
And at some point, you kind of encourage him to kind of eat the food.
We did.
Okay, and you were kind to him, or tried to be.
I was.
Okay, and you ultimately asked him what his involvement was, if any at all,
Correct.
and he denied any involvement.
He did.
And some of the stuff that you said that you're kind of collaborating with Detective Brashear, she provided you kind of some photographs, right?
Correct.
And you showed him a photograph. I think you were asked if he, on direct examination, if he acknowledged knowing Ryan Rogers. You showed him a photograph.
We did.
And he told you he did not recognize him.
That's correct.
If I could just have a moment, Judge.
Yes.
I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Redirect? No, Your Honor. Witness free to go?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense? Yes. Sir, you're free to leave.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next witness?
May we approach, Judge?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some issues that we have to discuss outside of your presence. We'll take about a 10-minute break. Enjoy your break, but no texting, tweeting, blogging, emailing, sending or accepting messages, communications of any kind about this case or your jury service. We'll come get you when you're ready. Jurors have left. You may be seated.
May we approach, Judge?
Yes, sir.
I think maybe it's easiest to go through it. There's
Yes,
like
it
4
is.
sets, and I'll let defense kind of take it from here. These are the first one, State's Exhibit 26. Haven't put letters on them yet because I don't know how many letters there will be.
We do have to mark the ones, so we do probably need to mark them
Okay.
because for the record, I'm going to be making rulings on them.
Okay. This is the order, and I will go grab my pen. It's going to be A, B, C, D for now, and then
And
may change.
And I can
Which-
say which
what-
one.
yeah, which one?
It would be 26B and 26D.
D, this?
Yes.
10 minutes? Yeah, same 10 minutes. All right, let's do B first.
So what's in the photograph?
It's working.
What's in the photograph is I don't want to say face card, but it is a identification photo of the decedent in this case, as well as the ME case number. We are stipulating to ID in this case, and I don't recall if the stipulation actually has the ME case number. So I do not believe that photograph would be necessary. It is an element that the state has to prove that is essentially being conceded, that all that every photograph that encapsulates ME case number 2179 is in fact a decedent in this case. So I believe it would be a 403 objection.
In light of the concession or stipulation and the 403, what's the state's response?
That the state isn't doing it for identification purposes. It's to show the injuries to his face.
Any further response?
If that is the case, I do believe there are other photographs that will be in evidence within this stack that show his face, that actually show the
So
injuries.
what do you,
So I-
you're
that-
doing a cumulative, you're
Yes.
adding cumulative? I can't do cumulative now because I only have one photo in front of me as it relates to the stipulation, which I'm presuming you're making a relevance objection, and 403. Well, let's talk about D first before I make the ruling.
26D would just be cumulative. I believe there is already a photograph of the clothing that came in through CSI Olinsky yesterday.
Response?
Yes, the photo that came in yesterday were the photographs taken of the clothing when Palm Beach Gardens CSI took over. This photo is what the medical examiner took when they were doing their initial documentation of his clothing.
So what's the legal objection, Ms.
Cumulative.
in response to the cumulative objection?
I think it's taken from a different angle. It's taken by a different person, and I think the cumulative nature of it isn't excessive, and it allows the medical examiner to say that she too noticed these same markings on his clothing.
When you say these markings, these two white markings,
It's the defects in the shirt, like the rips in the shirt.
Same objection. I do believe since she made visual observations and the photograph, and I don't know which evidence number it is that came in, she can also look in court at that photograph that's already in evidence. So I would.
Mr. Clausen, you did somewhat address that it was cumulative. I heard you say that it was just taken by a different person, but that doesn't overcome the cumulative nature as articulated by the defense. There is another photograph that depicts the same defect. I believe.
I can't.
Yes,
say
I'm
it.
going to mispronounce her name, but she already addressed the defects in the shirt. So this is the same defects
Yes,
that are being addressed here.
right. The state's position is that with a cumulative objection, Your Honor has discretion to determine whether it is the weight of the cumulative nature of the evidence, that there are some times where there is overlap and it can be admitted. That would be the state's position, that these were the photographs she took. They have no inflammatory nature to them, at least that photo itself, and that Your Honor would have the discretion to say that while it's slightly cumulative, the objection could be overruled. So that would be the state's position.
So
But
now we're at two photographs of a shirt that has a defect. Is that where you're?
yes,
where we are?
yep.
Any further argument?
No, Your Honor.
I'm going to overrule the defense objection as to both photographs. Both photographs are in. As to the depiction of the youth's face, a court find it does relate to an element of the charged crime. Therefore, it is relevant that it is not more prejudicial than probative. I think those are your two objections.
Yes.
And as to D, the court finds that although slightly cumulative, the court will exercise its discretion and allow that photograph to come in. But I do caution Mr. Clausen, let's not.
More duplication. Yes, Judge.
Thank you.
I don't believe there are. Well, I don't believe there are any more duplicates.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, there's your card.
All right. The next stack is 27. And
Yes.
Yes. Which one?
on the other side because I didn't have an objection. I just want to make sure the face.
Yes.
All right, I've looked at 27, the objections.
It would be to 27, E like Echo and M like Mary. So the last photograph in the stack and the fifth
Fifth one.
Yes.
is what I have as E. Is this the one you're objecting to? I'll do it again. This one, sorry. Is this the one you're objecting to?
And Judge, given your current ruling, I could take that one out. I'm sorry. Given your ruling on states, or the first exhibit we addressed, I can
As
remove
to
that.
so you're agreeing to extract Exhibit E,
Yes.
27E, and then as to 27M.
What I would say, I can show the court again the previous exhibit. It's just to show
A close-up
of that mark on his face. That's correct.
Any further argument?
No further argument.
As to 27M, the court overrules the defendant's objection. It is a different angle. It shows a different aspect of the injury, and so therefore it's not cumulative.
And then, Judge, for record purposes, I was intending now
To renumber them?
right.
So we'll call it Court Exhibit 27E and M. By stipulation, E is removed and M is over. The defendant's objection is overruled. Now you can make it a court
actual.
actual exhibit.
Thank you, Judge. I'll be right back.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, we can do that, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Same thing with this, but oh no, we're good. I didn't write anything. I think it's still in order. Yeah, you can just write on. Yes.
So stack with 28, I believe it would be H.
That's it?
Yes, just that one. And
Oh, a court exhibit? Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. So this would be Court Exhibit 4 now. Is this it, the photograph that you're having an issue with?
There's like a thinner one. I don't know.
the one right before I guess. I don't know if that's H or
This one?
yes.
Let me do it again. I have it as G.
Okay.
So Court Exhibit 4G, response or objection?
403 specifically cumulative. There are other photographs that document the injuries to the back. Specifically, I think H. Wait.
This is H. It doesn't. H is the back.
Yeah, that's the side of the back.
This is the side. This. Okay, go ahead.
I do believe that there are other photographs.
Why don't you point out what you believe would be the cumulative photograph?